Bunch of Steam news this week. Steam Machine, Steam Frame, the new Steam controller. I mean, you and I both remember the original Steam Machine and that first attempt. I remember seeing it at GameStop with the big promotion behind that, and it just didn't kind of really work out. But I don't know, with this one, with Steam OS kind of integrated in it, and just the
It
powerful emulation that's in today's age. If this
it
thing can
makes
emulate,
more
like
sense.
this is if this thing can emulate in mod, bruh.
It makes more sense now than it did before because they actually have like a fully fleshed out Steam OS now.
Right.
Because uh, essentially their new Steam machine it's just going to be a little box mini PC
Yeah.
that comes with Steam OS on it, the same as the Steam Deck does.
Yep.
Which is great. It's supposed to allow for it's not a top end PC, but it should allow for 60 FPS 4K.
Yeah.
For most games.
Yeah.
Not everything's going to run like that, but most things should, from the sounds of it. So it's going to be hopefully a reasonably priced, essentially mid-range PC.
Right.
That you don't have to worry about. It's like it's essentially for people who want to play their Steam games but don't want to worry about what computer to buy.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like with the success of the Steam Deck, I mean, why not?
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's like, I mean, there's been plenty of times where like, I mean, realistically, I'm kind of interested in one because
I am too, honestly.
It's like I'm interested in one for like putting it at like my TV setup.
Correct.
Because I have my PC, but there's plenty of games on my PC. I'm like, that I have on Steam that I'm like, I kind of like to like sit back and chill while I play the game instead of sitting at my desk.
Yep.
So I mean, it's one where see what the price looks like, but I'm kind of interested in one because I'm less interested in like an Xbox than ever, and if I could replace that with like a Steam machine type box, why not?
True. Your friend Hershey also said, 4K 60 with FSR interview I saw said that it has better hardware than 70% of last Steam hardware survey. And you can cast your Steam Deck as well. Yeah, no, it's going to have that nice integration between the two of them.
Yeah, I know he's been keeping it. He was keeping an eye on it more than I was.
I did have something that I wanted to share that I found here on Twitter about it, where it's like Moore's Law is Dead did a kind of an add up of the components, and apparently like the rough add up for everything that's in this thing spec wise is roughly probably about $425. So based on kind of the conversation that Steam is kind of having about it, where it's like they're looking at it to be more priced like an entry PC more so than a console, right? So I mean, it could range anywhere from like 450 to 600, which realistically I don't think is terrible for what you're kind of getting for it.
My mindset has been more of like the 6 to 650 range, just because but my main thought behind that is like top level Steam Deck is like around $500, I think. 450, 500, something like that. And this is supposed to be, granted, you won't be able to take it with you anywhere, but it's supposed to be more like significantly more powerful.
Yeah.
So makes sense somewhere around that 6 to 7 range for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, and I am with you as well. That I'm intrigued by this thing. Like this thing is really interesting to me because I think of all the potential for it. Plus, I'd also just love the meme that people are calling it the GabeCube. Because it does look like a GameCube. So I do love the GabeCube. That's pretty sick. I also love that you can customize the front because it's got the magnetic panels. That's neat. But no, I mean just like as I'm with you. Like as you know, and I sit on the show. I'm a console gamer because I like to sit back. I like to sit back in my chair, prop my feet up, kick back, play on a TV, right? I've got a gaming PC. Is it a high-end one currently in 2025? No, I'm a 30 series GPU, so it's still good, but I don't got a 40 or a 50, right? But man, I just like playing it in front of the TV. Could I finagle some stuff and get things set up where my PC could be on my TV? Absolutely. But do I want to do that? Absolutely not. But something like this is interesting because, like, I don't personally have the Steam Deck. That's my wife, but I have messed around on it and played with it. You've played it. Overall runs really well for stuff. You immediately jumped in and tested Cyberpunk, which I love that Cyberpunk is like the bar, because I saw a video, I think it was from PC Gamer, that also they led off with like, all right, so we jumped in, we tested Cyberpunk on the Steam machine. I'm like, I love how that's the bar. That's great. That's awesome. It's a great test.
I mean, the reason it was my test was also I was playing Cyberpunk at the
Yeah.
time, so I was like,
Yeah.
I guess I'll see how this runs.
Because listen, it's not even just that too, because it's like Cyberpunk was one of the launch games I bought for the Switch 2, and the first thing I put my Switch 2 because I wanted to test it in handheld. Like, I love this Cyberpunk is, yeah, let's see how this thing runs Cyberpunk. But no, I mean, it's interesting for me because it's like with you, there are games that I'd rather just, play sitting at the, watching the TV versus being at my desk. So, I mean, the Steam machine with the possibilities for it, I've seen so many people talk about it. Like, dude, if this thing can, you can get in it and kind of like mod your games still and, do any emulation, this thing is next level. And I'm like, I can agree with that. Like, this thing looks really impressive. And man, the price point for it, that's going to be the big thing, especially if it comes bundled with the controller, which I would imagine safely it would, and it would not be sold separately, but you never know.
I assume it'll be sold separately and then also have a controller bundle.
Yeah, correct. That's the way I picture it too. But, with this, my first line of thinking that I had is that obviously we've beat this like a dead horse, but man, I feel like this is a thing that's going to potentially really replace the Xbox. Like, obviously,
I mean, that's the real, like I said, legitimately, that's my thought.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Because I think this is going to be the thing to replace the Xbox.
Because it's like because that's exactly what I was talking about. It's like I don't have interest in buying another Xbox.
Right.
So if I can move that out of my TV stand and insert this new box, that'd be great for me.
Yeah, get yourself a GabeCube. No, I mean, I also, further thought that just because of like where Xbox is going with their next piece of hardware, and then I saw a very lengthy post from Phil Spencer about the announcement of like the Steam machine, just kind of congratulating Steam on the, on the announcement and making sure to point out that Microsoft is one of the #1 publishers to Steam in the world. I'm like, you're really hammering it home that you're going to go into just straight publishing someday. Like, you're really leaning into that. So it's just like, I bet the Steam machine feels like that is actually the next Xbox to an extent, just to an extent, which, the power for the Steam machine, looking at that 4K 60 and with the FSR, I saw people kind of giving a rough, people that actually know what they're talking about, because I sure as shit don't, that, it's like right under kind of a PS5. Some people saying it's like a little bit higher than an Xbox Series S, not as high as an Xbox, Series X, or not as high as a PS5. Kind of just right in there. It's like, that's still really good.
Yeah. I mean, that's still,
especially just coming out next year. That's not bad.
Like the average person that plays games, they're not going to be able to tell the difference.
Yeah.
Between, like, in a general sense, they're not gonna be able to tell the difference between like the extra 20 frames you're gonna get, or like that extra maybe that jump from like high to ultra quality. Because it's like, hell, most of the games I play, I go in and I turn half the stuff I turn down to low, half the stuff I turn up to as high as I can send it.
Right, yeah.
Because it's like, I don't, as good as like generalized settings are, I don't like a lot of it's fluff, at least to me. And yeah, so it's one where, I mean, if it's right below a PS5, that's still great.
Yeah, it's still good.
It's like PS5 still really hasn't been pushed to its limits.
Yeah, still very underused in terms of its power.
Yeah, at least like for consoles haven't extracted the full power for that, because some of the PS5 games that have come to PC, man, you can really crank them. But it's like, that's one for people who want to be able to do that. If you really want to be able to do that, you're not necessarily the target audience for this Steam machine. Right.
I also saw that they will be introducing Steam Machine Verified as well. So that's also going to help with the any games are going to be specially like optimized and like where they are verified for the Steam Machine as well. So it's going to be the same thing how it is with the Steam Deck, which is great. It's great.
Which, yeah, that is one thing that I find myself looking at now.
Yeah, things. How are things verified?
Because like a lot of games that aren't like truly verified for Steam Deck, it's for like small
The
reasons.
dumbest reasons. Yeah.
It's
Make
like
sure to always read why, because
yeah,
sometimes it's the dumbest reasons.
it's like it could be something as simple as you may have some text that's a little small, or like
Yeah.
there'll be a keyboard prompt, or it's
Yes.
like there'll be a keyboard prompt that you need, and it's like, okay, well, you're gonna pop up a keyboard anyway
Yep.
for me to be able to enter it in.
Yep. Because I know, like,
Because at
with
the end of the day, any game for the most part that has controller capabilities or controller compatibilities are going to work on the Steam Deck.
yeah, yeah. Because I know, like, for Christina, she's played her whole Mass Effect run on the Steam Deck, and like, it's not Steam Deck verified. It's mostly, and I think the reason why it's not verified is literally just like a menu related thing, and that's
Yeah.
it.
Well, it's
Like,
like
that's it. So
mo-
always read it why, because it's usually something stupid if it's
most of the
not.
games I have installed on my Steam Deck are not Steam Deck verified.
Yeah, like, it's not really a big deal. So even if things aren't Steam Machine verified, just read why. It's usually not a big deal. But I feel like with the Steam Machine, you might have a lot more that are verified
Oh
with
yeah,
the Steam Deck. So I don't know. I mean, the announcement for this, the GabeCube, is really sick. I'm excited. I'm gonna keep my eye on it. Like, legit. Like, I'm interested in the thing next year. I know Christina would be as well. Like, this is pretty cool. I like this thing. Obviously, in terms of the other main announcement, the Steam frame, I'm still not just interested in VR at this time. The time will come where I will be. It's still just not there yet for me. It's still
yeah.
cool though.
I'm
Shout out to them.
I'm interested to see mostly where price points lie
Yeah,
at. Because say I'm not super big on VR right now,
yeah,
but
I
there's
agree.
not the big name VR games that are out there are not
For you,
they're not my style games I would want to play in VR.
like Half-Life Alex,
Yeah, it's like there's there I don't really want to play games like that in VR.
or Resident Evil 4, the remake.
So it's like I'm kind of, if a couple more games come out that look like they would be something
Yeah.
I would get excited for, then maybe I'd start getting excited about VR.
So you don't want to play Midnight Walk in VR? That sound great.
I didn't want to play Midnight Walk anyway.
I still need to get that game. I have yet to play it. Hershey also said always turn off motion blur. That's fair. That's fair. There's a lot of people that do that.
Uh, I mean, realistically, it should be off by default.
Right. No,
If you
100%.
want it, you should go turn it on.
Yeah, no, it should be off by default, 1000%. 1000%. But no, everything with the Steam Machine, aka the GabeCube, is super exciting though. Like I said, I think it's going to be the device that could really set aside the Xbox, especially with the way Xbox is going kind of in the future with their direction.